Welcome everyone, welcome to another video. This one's going to be about this year, 2024. Beginning of the year, I mentioned that I was going to save and get some cameras this year. So 2024 is going to be the year that I get the cameras, and 2025 was going to be a year of me creating good content and more interesting content. That was my plan, and that is my plan, and it's ongoing. So I'm gonna go through the cameras I got this year. You know most of them, but two of them you don't know about, but you'll know about them in this video. So there will be time skips below, so there you go. So the first one I got this year was, as you know, the Akaso Brave 8. It is a, I would say low budget, but it was £200. So yeah, I mean, to me, the build is strong, it's sturdy, it feels rough and tumble, rough and, well, not rough, but it feels like it could go through quite a lot, But the weakness to it is the build. The door here, after a couple of days using, the spring came out and lost it, so it won't close properly, so it's not waterproof anymore. You can just about close it, but it's not water sealant anymore. And I noticed that with a few doors, it feels the build quality is just leaves stuff with imagination, really. But I used it for a few months, and it was a good camera, damn good video quality. It glitches just as bad as a GoPro, but I haven't got a GoPro, but I know it glitches. This one freezes and crashes in the SD card, so, I suppose it's like a budget-friendly GoPro. But I still like it. It's still a good camera. It is the Akaso Brave 8. They brought out a light version now, but I ain't got a clue on that one. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a cut down version of this. It's got a lot of options on it, and it's really, some options on here are really good, But yeah, just research it. You know what to do. The video quality, as I said, is very good. The battery is okay. The battery time lies on this camera. It can tell you it's got 80%, the next minute its battery's dead, or it tells you 20% it lasts for ages. It's very unpredictable, the batteries. Low light, I never really tested it in low light, really. I don't think it was that good. Yeah, I don't think it was very good at low light, what I can remember. The best use of the camera for me was, it was my only camera for a while, I mean, it's good for vlogging. I mean, I wouldn't put it in water or somewhere like that. I wouldn't keep it in the rain, vlog in the rain and stuff like that, But it's good if you're on a budget and you don't mind the springs falling out and flying everywhere and you can't find it. And, it's got the removable lens, so you can change the lens if it gets all damaged, But you can buy a few little accessories for it, It does come with a remote control. If I can find it in here. Oh yeah, you get a shell case with it, so you can do that. The remote control, I like the remote control because it's got a display and stuff, and it tells you how long it's recording for and stuff. So I do like the remote control. But yeah, it's not a bad camera. It served its purpose, and yeah, it's okay. As I said, I think it's good for someone who's starting out with action cameras, starting out, from scratch kind of thing, But it does feel strong and tough, apart from it falls apart. But still, it still feels quite safe and feels like you can drop it and nothing will happen to it, So, yeah, that's the Akaso Brave 8. Okay, my next camera. I got this in April time. I think it was April, mid-April, end of April. This is the one that I love, and I've loved it since I first got it. The DJI Action 4. Yes, the GoPro killer, as people call it. Why I love it is because nothing's fallen apart on it. It's built to last. No glitches. I've used it since April. Not one glitch, not one error, not one problem with this SD card, the recordings. It's a bit of a learning curve because there's lots of options. It does come with the plastic case, but I brought the small rig cage, and that has served a good purpose. And you know, you've got the battery pack that stores the batteries, blah blah blah, and the selfie stick with blah blah blah. So yeah, and I've also brought a smaller version of it as well for like more hidden, no, not hidden, but more accessible, easy to put in your bag and pocket and stuff. So yeah, so easy of use, yeah. Point and click. The menu system. At first, it's daunting, but then it's all right. There's one thing about this in the Casa Brave 8. The menus are roughly kind of like the same. It's like a Casa copied Action 4, or Action 4's copied the Casa. It's same kind of system. I said the build quality is just phenomenal. It's lighter than the Brave 8, but more durable. Video quality, well, that's fantastic. Can't fault it one bit. Cannot fault it one bit. Maybe people can fault it, but I can't fault it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, battery. The battery, you get 3 batteries for the adventure combo, and 2 hours each battery, or maybe a bit more. It depends what you're filming in, 1080p or 4K. Yeah, built. And the case you get with it is really good, and you can connect it to the vertical or horizontal. You know, great camera. A lot of YouTubers use it and no problems with it. Yeah. Uh, Good in low light, very good in low light, very good in low light. Not the best, but very good in low light. You know, I'm not going to go into the specs of these things. You know, you can research yourself. You know. The best use of camera for me is my main camera. This is my main camera. This comes with me everywhere I go. Because you can film in rain, snow, any condition. It can stand up to -20. It's Fahrenheit or something. Yeah. You know, really hot weather as well, 40 plus, and heat wise, you know, so it can cope with them temperatures. And then in cold weather, the battery doesn't die faster in cold weather. It's endurance battery. It's really good. So yeah, I think it's for anyone, even if you're not a sports person like me, if you don't go skiing, snowboarding, diving, it's great as a vlog camera. Really good as a vlog camera. Trust me, I've used this many times for vlogs. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. And when the 5 comes out in a few weeks or whenever it's out, this will be reduced even more. So go for it if you can. If you do reduce it, go for it. Or wait for the 5 and get the 5. I don't know, you know. But yeah, that's definitely a win-win situation, you know. I'm not sponsored by any of these people. These are all my views. I bought these out of my own money, blah, 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 you know. And of course, I've got the case as well for it. So protects it even more. All the cameras I've got cases for. On to the next one. So this one is another DJI product I got only a few weeks ago. And this is something I've been wanting, but do I really want it? I got it wanting, do I really want it kind of thing. And it's the world famous that goes out of stock every 5 seconds. You're about to know what it is because I've used it many times. If I can get it out of this pouch, is the DJI Pocket 3. Yes, Pocket 3. Okay, it lives in its shell. This is, how can I say? This is, right, this is my baby. This is my ultimate. Not my main vlogging camera. The DJI Action 4 is still my main camera. This is my secondary camera. This is, how can I say? the one to use on sunny days. Pitch quality is, well, I'll get to that in a bit. Ease of use. Flip the screen and you on. You know, flip the screen. And give it a few seconds and you on. And the gimbal started. It's everything. Button there to record. Button there to turn the gimbal. The menu option screen is the same as the Action 4, DJI and stuff. Build quality is excellent, but as you know, the downside to this, it's not waterproof at all. No, it isn't waterproof. It might be a little bit of raindrop proof, but I wouldn't even chance it in that. When I first got it, I was thinking, oh no, it's going to be so fragile. The gimbal part's going to be so fragile. I've got to be really careful when you see all these people reviewing it. But when you get it, you're thinking, no, it's all right. It's tough, but you got to treat it like it's your best friends or your wife or your girlfriend. Treat it really well. You know what I mean? Treat it like it's gold dust. But I've had no problems with it all. No problems. It comes with this case. It comes with a spare battery. The battery in this is good, 2 hours or so, but this gives it an extra hour or so. I did buy this case for it that goes over the monitor, goes on there, and then it just, I can do it right, it clips in to protect it because the gimbal side does move around a bit, The gimbal does move around. But what I found out is if you keep the wide angle lens in there and put this in there, and put it in properly, put it in properly, and then, oh, I'm doing it wrong now. Yeah, put it in properly, and that it won't actually, the lens won't actually appear at the top. So it won't move around, so the lens is exposed. So, and I've got an old glasses case that I just slide it into there. So, that's how I protect it. Everyone has different ways of doing stuff. And of course, recently, if you watch my videos, I bought some ND filters for when I'm out and about in the massive sunshine and stuff. But that's a different story. It took me a while to learn about these ND filters, but I'm wise now. But apart from that, video quality, as I said, it is just phenomenal. It is just out of this world. Great. Excuse the seagulls, if you can. Low light is just fantastic. It's got apparently a 1-inch sensor, which I've heard it isn't, but it is, kind of thing. So I don't know the full story on that one, the truth, but I know that in low light it is very good. With autumn coming up, winter coming up, I want to film some night scenes like at the Christmas markets and that kind of stuff, and autumn stuff. And that's the camera I'll be using. As long as it ain't raining, that's the camera I'll be using. So they're the cameras you know about. Now onto the cameras you don't know about. So give me a second. So before I go on to the cameras I haven't told you about, I want to tell you a little bit about the DJI Mimo app. My Android phone, latest one, can't install it, won't install it. But I bought a phone a few years ago called the Fury Note 10. Most of you might remember, which I've kept in the drawer, never not really used it. It's got no SIM card, blah blah blah. That actually accesses so I can use the app on that. So when you buy the DJI Action 4 and the Pocket 3, you have to register with the app, the DJI Mimo app. You have to load it up, register, activate the device, and register it. So yeah, I know. So but I've gone to hide, so it doesn't bother me. And then I was considering getting some Insta360 or Insta360 cameras, like the Insta cameras, yeah. And the app was the same. It wouldn't work on my new phone, but the app worked on my old phone, the same phone as the TGI Mimo app. So I thought, okay, that installs. So I chanced it, big chancing. I chanced it and got the Insta360 Go 3S, the new one, the 4K version. What this does is an action cam, just like normal, you know, smaller, heavier, but it has a flip-up screen. So yeah, good for vlogging and stuff, you know, in front of you. But as you most people know about these cameras anyway, you could press a button and detach the camera from the case. So there you have a point of view camera where you can get accessories like, you know, you got the mount thing you can use on this or the case, or you got the neck mount where you can put it around your neck and have a point of view shot when you walk around shops and stuff, you know, which I did the other day when I was walking around B&M and stuff. I had this attached to me, but it was more like, you know, that was under there kind of thing, you know, and that was there. So that was like, I had a black top on, walking around B&M and that kind of stuff. And I've got some good video from the products and stuff. And of course, when you do that, you can monitor it on here, so you can see what this sees, you know. So when you've got it on, you can check what the view you got, kind of thing, you know. And it is quite impressive, really, you know. Put the screen down, look at it. So yeah, so that is a good view. I've got a good view. And you can record, you know. Then you've got the flat. You can turn the light off, but you can leave it on. It's up to you. But then you get to monitor what's the camera's watching. So yeah, I think the only person who knows about this really is Jackson UK. I told you the other day about it, and the image quality is really good. But for a little camera like this, for 4K, you know, it is quite. And of course, it goes back in, sticks back in magnetically. That faux thing, that's a wind protector. Doesn't do a brilliant job, but it does a little bit. And then, yeah. So yeah, build quality, strong, rugged. The screen is very strong, and that's not gonna break. You know, you got the spare lens. You can buy spare lenses to replace that if that cracks. So that's a bonus. The only thing is this little pod thing, you can lose it. But if you've got an iPhone, it's got the tracker so you can find it again. Now, the one downside to this is the battery life. In the unit like this, you got 2 hours of video in, no problem at all. You take the pod out of the case, you got 30 minutes to 32ish minutes max. But then if you use most of that up, you can put it back in the case and it will charge it up this itself. So you got a couple of charges out of it if you don't use it with the case. But instead of the case itself, you can just video yourself through the day. I did take this to work with me on Monday and I'd filmed some cool shots by attaching this to metal railings or the clothing things or the coffee machine. You know, got a good view of the coffee machine, you know. But so that is good for that. Low light, I think it's all right in low light. Not the best, but it's all right. It's passable, better than the Casa Brave 8. Best use for the camera for me is when say, if I go to work and, as I did the other day, magnetically attach it to the coffee machine and did a coffee with different views. It's a small camera, it fits in small places. You could put it inside a fridge, open the fridge, and then that kind of thing. You know, you walk down the street and you see a lamppost and it's metal. You can stick that to it and do a quick little vlog or quick little thing. You know, for that kind of stuff, it is very handy, and for me that's why I got it, so I can use this little pill shaped camera, put it in places where I film where you couldn't really film, Um, you know, this pill soap thing itself is waterproof, but that's not waterproof. That is waterproof. That isn't. Um, as it is, if you get that wet, it's knackered. But if that's in there and it gets wet, you got a good chance of it surviving. This little pill thing can go 10 meters, I think, 10 meters in the water. That is solid waterproof, So yeah, but that is the first ever Insta 360 camera I've ever had, and for what it is, I love it for what it is. I know that the 3 version was only 2.7K. I don't use 4K much. I could have got the version before, but I wanted the latest one, and it wasn't that more expensive anyway, so it was all right. It was good. So that's that, and you get a little mount thing for it. It's all magnetic and clip mount, like the Action 4 kind of thing. And you get this, we can put it on and just, you've got a cap thing, you put your cap and film that way, And I bought the little case for it to protect it so it keeps it safe, It's a tiny little thing, And that leads on to the final camera. Now, I know what you're going to say. What the frell are you doing with these cameras? Why are you buying so many cameras? I know one person will mention that. But I'll explain why in a few minutes. I also need to say who I think this camera is good for. People who like to be creative. You see, I am a creative person. The reason why I got these cameras is each camera has got its own creativity, its own input into the creative journey. It's like, the action, ignoring the Brave 8, Action 4 for anything, rain, snow, sunshine, vlogging in rough conditions, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. Pocket 3 for general vlogging, and the little things it's got, like the tracking and stuff like that. It's great for that. It's great for, the secondary camera. If I'm out and about somewhere and I want a decent image, yeah, good. This, as I said, is for those little crazy shots. I can do crazy things. I could attach it to any metal surface that's magnetic and just do crazy views, crazy things. Google it. People have done some really crazy things with this camera, and it's really good for those spur of the moment, strange, unusual actions. Now, this camera, right? I got this because, as I mentioned about the creativity side of me, this is the ultimate one for crazy. I have filmed with it, experimented with it. I've filmed some crazy things with it. Editing is a nightmare, but it's a challenge, and it's something that I can do on my laptop. Thank God, with the app, and because I can't edit the footage without it, I need this certain app to edit the footage with the video. I can't just upload it into Filmora or any other one. I've got to firstly load the video into this app, edit it, then export it, then it go to another app, kind of thing, But it has recently got its own video editor within the app, so on the laptop, Again, it's Insta 360, and I'm waiting for the comments, especially from one YouTuber. But you'll understand when you see it why I got it, because of the creativity side of it. I will put some film footage in this video. If you're on Patreon, if you're one of my patrons or on my Patreon channel, you will have seen it already, the video footage. But anyway, do I take this off first? No, let's leave this on. The Insta 360 X4 360 camera. Right. Okay. So this is the protective lens cover I've got, because the lenses are just fragile. It's got 2 lenses because it's 360. This is something that I've only dreamt of. Yes, the Pocket 3 was, but this one, to get 360 image on photos, what you can do with this is the most craziest thing ever. And I just love it to bits. Love it. Yeah, it's not something I can use every day. I can't use it for vlogging. No way can I. The build quality is really good, but the lenses stick out a bit. So these are protective lenses you get with it. But if you damage the inner lens, you're buggered. So protect it the best you can. That's why I got these lens guards. The screen is Gorilla Glass, so that should last a while. The video quality is it's 8K, but I can't use 8K because my laptop won't do it. But 4K, 5.7K. The battery is quite a big battery actually. Let's try and show you. It's a big battery. That'll last a couple of hours. If you film in 1080p, if you're filming 8K, you can still get about an hour or so, you know. But I wouldn't use 8K. It does get really, really hot if you're filming at 8K. It comes with a thermal guard, so you can put that on to distribute the heat. Low light, I do not know about low light. I think it's okay, but I don't think it's... I think you can't... They say don't use 8K in low light, 5.7K. 5.7K, you know what I mean, the resolution. They use that to get a better low light. So I think the low light could be okay, but not perfect. Not as good as a Pocket 3, you know. Best use of the camera for me is capturing those moments, like going to Dover Seafront, like the video we see in a minute or two. In fact, I'll put it on now so you can see it. That's the kind of shots I'll do if I go to the woods, if I go to anywhere. I could film a couple of minutes B-roll, 360-degree B-roll, and then edit it how I want it to look really fancy, look really cool. And yeah, it's something I'll record about 5 or 6 minutes on my journey, different random times, so I could just create something that's different, extraordinary kind of thing, you know. Utilize the 360-degree image, because when you edit it, this is where it gets confusing, because you've got to edit all the 360-degree image. So when you're editing, you've got to keyframe what view you want from that image, and then keyframe it to move to different angles of that 360. So you're always constantly editing the 360-degree image, but you've got to pinpoint where it's facing on the 360. And luckily, I know video editing, and it's not that much of a hassle for me, but it's just crazy what you can do with it, because there's so much you can do with it. So yeah, yeah, there's no more crazy cameras I'm going to get. and for definitely not. I've got everything I need for every occasion, which to me is just phenomenal. So I didn't tell you about that, Jax, did I? In any case, um, but yeah, uh, I just think that yeah, I'm crazy. Say what you want. Say what you want. I don't care. I have grown up poor. I've grown up with a family, my dad who's into video editing. I'm into creating. I am a massive creative fan. I love creating stuff, video editing. I like web designing, creating stuff on the laptop. I just love it. It's a passion, a big, big passion of mine. And I've been wanting since 2016 to have the right video and equipment that I could use in any occasion. And now I've got what I want, and this is what I wanted this year, to get all these this year. So now I can focus on editing and creating and filming stuff that's unusual. Autumn's coming up, winter's coming up, and I want to film lots of winter night scenes, Christmas markets. I want to do that. I want to do lots of low light filming. I want to do that, and I've got that. Yeah, there's lots I want to do, but at the moment I'm learning the editing for 360 and stuff like that, so I can see what I can create. I'm just loving this creative side of me. Creative. It's opened a whole new world for me. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, you got too many cameras now. I don't know what you're bloody doing, but I don't care. It's my life. I want to. I want these to build my creative skills up better. You know, so I can produce something that's wow for me anyway. You know, and then keep doing that. Keep doing that. Um, yeah. Anyway, so that's it. Uh, Thank you for watching, and comment, let me know what you think. If you've got these cameras, or if you want these cameras, you want to know more about these cameras, ask me any questions you want, and if I can answer it, I will do. I'm not an expert. I'm still learning about the 360 camera and the Go 3S because it's still quite new to me. I'm still learning all the ins and outs and that kind of stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you hopefully in the next one. Doodle pips.